Hi, I think we're live streaming. I'm going to assume that we are. And for today, I'm just going to play back a conversation that I had last night. Here we go. Ah, winter's hard. It's like an extra job. It's even cold here.
Yeah, it's like having horses and riding horses are two very different
Yeah,
things.
yep, it really is. And having your own farm sometimes interferes in riding.
Definitely.
Okay, so now let's say we have a month before you can really ride again. And
Yeah,
you're able to get to the arena, I want us to think very hard, because if we can go, like, let's say we go on Thursday, but then we can't go again for a week and a half. Let's not do that to dream. Okay?
yeah.
I like continuity. If I had my way, I would have you 4 days a week, 3 of them in a row, not because I adore you, which I do, but because it is the routine that helps. You understand?
That makes sense, yeah.
So you understand everything from when we talked last week about calibrating the aids. Does that make sense to you? Does that seem like an answer to you?
It does. It was very logical.
Yeah. What has to happen is that if you sit right, they engage right, and then they're going to be round and you shorten your rein. Right? You have to teach them the aids. And see what the riding is, right? You ride very well. So you're just like it's like a new story every time you ride them. Instead of this. And it doesn't have to be mean like me. It's just a more specific. You understand? I don't have to sell you on that, right?
No, I got it.
So, 2 things that you can do in the barn to really start using the law of association of sensations to teach them these aids and calibrate them are jambets,
Okay,
and Phyllis. And I want you to reread jambets and see if I use the word calibrate in there. I don't know if I did. And that's really all I've got. So, but what should happen in the jambets is they start to, if they pick up a foot properly and hold it in the air themselves, what are they doing on the standing leg?
weight bearing.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know who explained that to me, and she's in England, is Kara Kirkland.
Ah, yeah. Mom had lots of her books. Well, she will still have.
Very, very smart. And guess where when she was a youngster, she was at the Swedish Cavalry School where Major Lindgren was. So we all know the same shit. But she's extremely smart. So when she's teaching Piaffe or teaching them to pick up one leg or the other, she said, we're not teaching them to lift their leg higher. We're teaching them to secure themselves better on the standing leg. Now,
like ballet.
Yeah, it is like ballet. And it's very engineering, right? But they do get more expressive on the inside when they're confident that how they place, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's
all.
It's
scarily like ballet. I remember when I was figure skating, I trained with I went to a training camp down in Nottingham, and they had she'd been a Russian prima ballerina that was doing a off-ice class. Wow. And they were doing these leg lifts. And I'm standing there going, yeah, my leg doesn't go any higher than this. And she's like, you're looking at it wrong. And I'm going, how? And I still do not know to this day what she did because I can't do the splits.
But
but whatever she did, she was so in tune with how the muscle worked in your legs that she lifted my leg. I was trying to lift and did something with it, and my leg was up here. And she went, it's because you're focusing on balancing and not the leg that's up in the air.
Yeah. So
because my balance off by her manipulating my leg and stopped me thinking about the one in the air, and it meant I had balance and I could do whatever she was wanting to do.
Yeah, and a lot of this also is we have to train their minds so that these are already very athletic horses. If we have them with a target they're going to and tasks along the way, that's where their mind has to be. And then their bodies will do it automatically. Yeah. But there are certain things like, I don't know, like I always train outside hind for canter. I always, same like that, you know, it's not like that ballerina. Once I was in a yoga class, I used to be very, they asked me to teach actually. I was very, you know, I was involved. I was into it. I'm only saying that not to brag, but that's how involved I was. So I was doing standing bow. You know, I had my leg back up over my head and my front arm outstretched. And my teacher was this little man like this high. And he came up behind me on this, and I was looking at I was in the mirror and I was reaching for the mirror, of course, and everything was stretched all the way. And he put his chin right here and looked at me in the mirror. And he said, your pupils aren't level. And I fell over. I know you know what that is as an athlete, when just a little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it also meant that I wasn't all the way wrong. But the main thing for these young vets, so I click. Could you hear that?
Yeah.
You notice how my pony, Brownie, he picks his damn foot up when I click, don't he? Doesn't he?
I have a friend actually, and she doesn't realize what she's done because she's not done it for the same reasons. But she has a horse that she can snap her fingers and he picks his feet up.
Yeah, it's the sound. But yeah. See, first I tapped his foot and he kicked.
Yeah.
And then I tapped and clicked at the same time. Now I don't need to tap. That is how you teach the aids. And so we're going to teach your horses to be secure and pick up a foot on command. Then we're going to teach them to switch their standing legs. But then we're also going to teach them, so they're doing that right, and they know to pick up the foot, and they hold it up as long as you can. You tell them to because they're secure and comfortable in their standing leg. Then they're going to do it with a saddle on, and the next sensation you're going to teach them is one-sided weight. Means pick up your foot. Calibrating.
That makes sense because I always did wonder, because I know a lot of people that teach PF from the ground, but I always went, unless you've got someone with you.
They don't know. That is a secret.
Because they need someone on the ground to then teach it with a rider instead of, that makes more sense.
So you can start to think about the lexicon of the natural aids, and you are smart enough, you may come up with your own way to associate a sensation for them. Right? And this is why we put them on the lunge first and get them keen to our voice. My click, whoa, walk, trot, canter, back on my voice before I ride them.
I like it.
Okay?
Yeah.
Have I gotten your mind going?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of this is stuff you'll do with the babies now. Imagine if the babies knew all this before you ever swung a leg over them. Right?
Yeah.
And this means soften your jaw, this means soften your jaw. And that, you understand, don't you? Will you start addressing this in the stable tonight even?
Yeah.
And then the other thing I do, I get their jaw soft. So then I touch the outer rein from where I am on, this is their withers. And yeah, I get the same hind quarter to activate if I touch the rein.
Okay. Ooh.
Like, why weren't you taking the bit forward? Why I was able to touch the, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Calibrating, law of association of sensations, natural aids, voice first, then the aids that are felt, seat, leg, hand. That's a kind of big alphabet, but it's not overwhelmingly large, is it?
No.
So you know who Conrad Schumacher is?
I know the name.
He's so funny because he's the one who explained to me the importance of the natural aids and really getting them taught. TAUGHT, like that's your language, like that's your, and he's laid them all out. There's not that many combinations. The leg can be, the weight can be bilateral or right or left. The leg can be both legs at the girth, right leg at the girth, left leg at the girth, one leg behind the girth. There's not that many combinations. Rein aids, basically neutral. My hands are empty, my horse is going forward, squeeze my reins, both stop, one right rein, left rein. There's not that many combinations, right? And I'm like, yeah, I understand this, I can teach it. And he says, yeah, though there are only 8 notes in music.
Yes, that is very true.
But isn't that exciting that with that alphabet, you can do all the riding, but you have to teach them the voice that I just made the list for you, seat, leg, hand. Okay? Okay, go.
Yes.
Go at it.
Thank you.
All right, I'll see you. If it's bad weather Tuesday, we're not going to worry.
Thursday, okay.
We have Jean Betts and Phyllis to be practicing. And if you can't find the Jean Betts document, just tell me, I'll get it for you, okay?
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Much appreciated.